Welcome back to GB News Sunday with me, Dawn Neesom, on your TV, online and on digital radio. Now, what better way to end the programme with a cocktail tasting extravaganza? Joining us now is Jean Vital, is that pronounced correctly?
It's right.
Founder of the Cocktail Circus. And I am still with the lovely Rafe, who is volunteered to help me out in this odious task that we have to face, because obviously this is the big cocktail night of the year, champagne cocktails in particular. So what are you going to make for us?
So I will propose you a couple of drinks actually, and the first one will be very focused on champagne. As you say, champagne is what we need for this time of the year. So we have a very glamorous presentation, let's say, with a little bit of strawberry sugar on the rim and some candy floss.
So that's like candy floss?
Yeah, candy floss, proper one.
Candy floss like we had when we were kids?
Yeah, exactly.
Marvellous.
We'll bring all the childhood memories.
Yeah.
Not just when we were kids.
Yeah. So I'm using the candy floss as a sweetener, and I will just top it up with some champagne.
Now, call me a Philistine, but, I mean, if you put in... Oh, wow.
Yeah, it just disappears. It dissolves, basically.
But doesn't that make the champagne too sweet?
This is why there is an extra ingredient that will balance the sweetness.
OK, I'm peeking too soon here.
Campari, I suspect.
Yeah, if you are listening on radio, we have 3 glasses with pink sugar around them. They're coupe glasses, aren't they? And they had like the pink candy floss that you used to have from fairgrounds when you were a kid. Yeah. So you just pour the champagne over it, normal measure of champagne.
Yes, and in this little bottle, I got a blend of berries liquor and roots liquor.
Oh.
I don't know if you're familiar with gentian.
No.
So it's very rooty, you will see. It will bring some...
So it's Baileys, did you say?
Berries.
Berries liquor.
So you just have to put a little extra one.
So it's like half a shot of berries liquor. Yeah. Can you buy this in supermarkets?
Of course. Can I say the brand name? Is it okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it is some Chambord. I'm using Chambord.
Oh, OK, fine. Yeah, heard of that. Yeah.
And for the gentian liquor, I'm using a liquor from the Chartreuse monastery. You know,
right, yes, of course.
They're very popular for green Chartreuse and yellow Chartreuse, but they do some other products, and one of them is a gentian liquor. It's one of the most wonderful products you can find.
Wow.
So please.
Thank you very much. And this is a perfect New Year Eve cocktail, New Year's Day cocktail. When should one drink this one? I
mean, champagne, you can drink as soon as you wake up, basically, you know, so there is no...
Churchill had a imperial pint for breakfast every day.
Exactly, yes.
Because the bottle was too much, wasn't it?
Yeah, but, I think Paul Roger created a small bottle
that's right.
especially for him.
Yes, it was, yeah absolutely. Yeah. Right, OK, I'm doing this for you, dear viewers and listeners. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
It's very pink, it matches my jacket, actually, and indeed your bow tie.
Well, that's lovely.
Oh!
That's divine. Refreshing, sweet.
You know what? That actually really works. I would never have thought of putting champagne and candy floss together in the same glass.
The thing, one of the most classic cocktails you have is a champagne cocktail.
Yes.
And we are using actually a cube of sugar at the bottom of the cup. So let's say the candy floss is replacing the cube of sugar.
Right, OK, so that would make a perfect breakfast drink on New Year's Day, obviously.
Yeah. Like with absinthe, you have your sugar as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, absolutely. OK, that's lovely. So that's one for breakfast.
Yes, and we have one for just before lunch. So this one was quite a trendy cocktail this year. I will do what we call a Negroni Sbagliato.
Say again?
A Negroni Sbagliato.
Negroni, right, OK, with you.
But a Sbagliato, so we are switching gin for champagne.
Oh, OK. Oh.
So we go for a good measure of Campari.
Yeah.
So I find Negroni not sweet enough usually, so I'm curious how this will taste.
That is very nice. OK, so that's a single shot, yes?
Yes, we go for a single shot of sweet vermouth. So I'm using a Rubino for martini.
Because I always find with cocktails, I always put too much alcohol in. You know, it's like you're meant to do a measure, and it's like I'm just going...
Yeah, I mean...
Free pouring is the best way to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
I will tell you, with the new tax on alcohol, people they will have to measure.
Yes, no, that's true. Yeah. So what was that one you've just added there?
So this one is some sweet vermouth.
Right,
and to give a little berry twist again, I'm using some sloe gin.
Sloe gin, right?
Yes,
okay.
So just a little touch. So I'm using a sloe gin.
Single shot of each?
Yeah, like this one a little bit less than a single shot.
And that has half the less alcohol of normal gin?
Yes. This one is quite strong. It's a German one. So I choose this one because there is a lot of almondy flavor note on it, what I really enjoy. So we go for a couple of pints. A little bit more than a couple. Fill up your glass.
And now we're adding ice to it. So this is being served in, if you're listening on the radio, being served in a tumbler glass.
Yeah.
So 3 shots go in, and you top it up with ice. It's looking very strong.
You will see. So
Okay.
we have a little dilution. It will be quite strong, yes, compared
That's a
to the
good
first
sound
one.
effect on the radio. And you're using a very long spoon, but you can just use a teaspoon, can't you, I'm assuming?
Definitely.
Yeah. And now we are topping it up with...
Yeah, just a little.
champagne.
Let's say the same amount of champagne than you have as liquid.
Right, OK.
Just a little spritz of it, you know. There we go. Next, a little round to make
Right.
sure the champagne. The classic spaghetto is made with sparkling Italian wine usually.
Right, OK.
But because of the occasion, let's say we did a little upgrade. And for the garnish, we can go with something very popular here, like a little terry orange.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
That's like the little little chocolate
exactly.
oranges.
You can get
That's
this
quite
one at the
clever.
end. As soon as you finish, this one will sink at the bottom, so it will be the perfect little snack to get at the end.
Right, thank you very
Yeah.
much. Thank
Little
you, Ray.
treat for the
Thank
end.
you.
So this one will be more surprising for you. You have some winey and bitter nut.
Mm-hmm.
So it's quite I wouldn't say not an advanced cocktail, but you need to know your drinks to appreciate this.
Right,
type
OK, fine. Right, we're going in for you, just to make sure, you know, we don't want you trying anything that's not going to do you any good. Oh.
That's lovely. That is more sophisticated.
Yeah.
I prefer it to a Negroni. It's got more of a punch to it and it's a bit sweeter. Lovely. Well done.
It's very
I'll
nice,
have to
that one.
watch this on rewind and make it myself later
Yes.
on today.
Yes, all the ways to make these cocktails will be on the website as well, and you can watch it on YouTube as well, just to get into practice for it. Obviously, you can start now because it is New Year's Eve. So, when would be the good time to drink this one? Is it tonight or tomorrow for the hair and the
this
dog
one,
thing?
it's a perfect drink to have beforehand, before dinner.
Right.
And it's always recommended for bitter to be consumed before dinner. You open up appetite.
Okay.
And because of the champagne fact as well, it's a good one to finish the dinner, actually.
Right.
You know?
So an aperitif from the...
Yes, this is where I will recommend it. But after, it's very good to have during the dinner as well. There's nothing wrong about that.
Now, this is we've been asking everybody this. It's New Year's Eve, right? Notoriously, it's very difficult to pace yourself on New Year's Eve. I mean, you know, you might go and visit someone this afternoon. Would you like a glass of champagne? So by the time you actually get to the big midnight countdown, as a cocktail mixologist and a total expert, how do you pace yourself? What's the secret?
The secret is to be drunk before midnight. And
That wasn't quite what I was expecting to hear,
Yes,
but that works.
Yes, and you will be able to survive the evening. But usually it's like a very chill evening for bartenders. It's quite enjoyable, actually, because we celebrate with the guests, but we also celebrate with our colleagues. So it's quite a joyful moment for the industry.
OK, yeah. And the industry obviously has suffered enormously during the pandemic and the lockdown and things like that.
They did, yes.
And the news story today was that a fifth of youngsters are just not drinking anymore. Have you noticed that in your industry?
No. No, I think there is a lot of people that want to push some non-alcoholic trends up front, because I think there is a lot of investment behind those new trends. And you will find more people drinking less, let's say, but those people drink also, let's say. You know what I mean? I think it's too early to say it.
Right.
You know, it's just start, basically.
Yeah.
So I think we can talk about what actually really happened in a few years from now. But if young people stop to drink, it's not great news for us, let's say.
No, of course
It's not great
it's
news
not
for the
good news at
craft.
all.
Yeah, and there is a lot of job at risk if the trend.
And if somebody, I mean, obviously, you know, we have been making lots of laughing and joking about drinking and New Year's Eve, etc., but obviously it is a difficult time of year if you are struggling with alcohol. So can you make these cocktails with low alcohol or no alcohol ingredients?
There is definitely a possibility to switch every product I use for non-alcoholic version.
Right.
The taste will be slightly different because it's impossible to recreate 100% the alcohol flavor, let's say. But yeah, you can find definitely some good ingredient around to switch for everything. The only problem I will say with those non-alcohol options, they come up at the price of alcoholic option.
They do, don't they? They are.
Yes.
Actually, in some cases, they're actually more expensive.
Exactly.
Actually.
So this is why I don't know if we are ready to justify those prices, you know, to pay a bottle the same price as an alcoholic bottle, you know. I mean, it just doesn't make sense for me, and it will be the customer and the guest to decide, basically. It's not us to force the people. They will have to be willing to spend the same amount of money as they will buy some alcohol.
Yeah, exactly. And obviously, are you working tonight? How are you celebrating tonight?
Tonight I got
Actually, that sounds like Will's chat-up line, didn't it? Fancy coming around.
yeah, privilege of the age. Tonight I will leave the position to younger people. I will be home by 7 and celebrate with family.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's
Yes.
very, very civilised. I must admit, I think I might be doing that as well.
Yeah, so I gave my time for late nights and...
Because in your industry, it's busy, the busiest time of year, isn't it?
It is one of the busiest times of the year. Yeah, I will say with Halloween and Valentine's Days.
Yes,
those
of
three.
course.
Yes, that's the day you want to be off, basically. Usually.
Yes, yeah, Valentine's Day, which happens to be my husband's birthday is the day before Valentine's Day, so it's just like everything is busy and overpriced and everything else. I mean, Rafe, the royals like to drink, didn't they? I mean, didn't the Queen famously have pour her first cocktail at lunchtime?
That's right. Well, every day would have her gin and dubonnet, which was one measure less than her mother. Her mother liked them much more strongly. Yeah. In fact, this year I was in Malta staying at the Phoenicia, which was the Queen's favourite hotel when she was in Malta, and I ordered her favourite drink, and they didn't know how to make it, so I got the barman and I showed him how to make it, and he's taught everyone there now. Oh, no, that's been my greatest achievement of the year, was teaching the barman there to make the Queen's favourite drink.
What do you make of the Queen's choice of cocktail? It sounds a bit old-fashioned.
I think I'm sure she will enjoy a good martini, a good gin martini. I don't know why. I feel like she's this kind of person to enjoy a nice martini with, like, you know, like the James Bond style. I feel she will be.
And always made with Plymouth gin. The very first gin martini was made with Plymouth gin. And I like Franklin Roosevelt's way of making it. He would get a bottle of vermouth and shine a moonbeam through it and put the bottle down.
Yeah, and there is a lot of reason for that, because back to the times the dry vermouth used in this cocktail was French. And it was just like a little bit of a banter, you know? It was one of the stories I heard about it. This is why they didn't want to use it, and they make it stronger, neat. We call it like Churchill martini, or we call it a naked martini.
That's right.
Right, OK. So what about King Charles? Is King Charles following his mother's and his grandmother's footsteps?
Actually, I don't know what his favourite cocktail is. I would imagine gin and tonic or something like that, but he doesn't drink as much. But, of course, he's got his wonderful Highgrove range of wines. And they now do superb sparkling wines, which have won a lot of awards, and red wine and white wine. So he actually is very involved in the business of booze.
Well, I mean, it is a big business now, isn't it? Well, wine in particular. I mean, and I hate to say this, but English wines are now taking on the French.
I'm very happy to say it. I mean, there is a lot of French consultancy behind all the, what you call that, the rise of British wine. And I mean, British wine are good. There is no shame to say it. There is no. I enjoy a good British sparkling wine like Nightingale or Chapeldon, great product. There is nothing to be ashamed of. And yeah, I mean, for French, you will not. I'm here since 10 years, so you know, I embrace.
So you're more or less English, basically.
Exactly. I embrace the trend in the country. There is nothing. I don't challenge anyone on that.
Okay.
Well, they do say with climate change as well that the soil in England, the terroir, will become the best for producing champagne.
It is, yeah. Grape will be mature at the right time. The harvest will be better, a bit more sweet as well. Yeah, I agree with that.
And so, I mean, do the French celebrate New Year as much as we do over here? We seem to go a bit bonkers over here, especially with the alcohol, and French do seem to be a bit more restrained with the alcohol.
Yeah, I think I mean, if you go to Paris, I don't think there are that much restrained, but if you go to smaller cities, let's say, it's more, we are more like weekend people than, you know, London, it's a Monday to Sunday city. I'm from Marseille, and in Marseille, you feel the city going to be a little bit busy from, let's say, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, but it's still very shy. I think London got a great vibe and a great party mind, and it's very nice to see people going for after work on a daily basis, you know. So an economy is working, you know. So I think this is a good mindset, it's a great mindset. But obviously, they need to drink responsibly, that we need to mention it, and sometimes our guests forget. You know,
okay. Well, I mean, Jean, thank you very much, Jean Vital Cocktail. How do people get in touch with you?
I mean, is
there a website they can go to?
I got an Instagram page named Cocktail Circus.
Okay.
With underscore at the end. Yeah. And this is where I just display my craft, basically.
Perfect. Right, and it'll be on the GB News website as well. Now, well, thank you so much, my panel today, Charlie Rowley and Benjamin Butterworth, and Rafe for joining me in the cocktail tasting, which was all just. Nana is up next, though.